Hey guys, I'm making another video today because I've been bombarded with people asking for help with their Bitcoin mines. First, let me say that if you do not understand BTUs, load calculations, electrical loads, what the maximum electrical loads are for circuit breakers, what the maximum loads are, because these are constant loads, what the networking conditions you're going to have, what the I mean, there's just tons and tons of information that you have to have in order to do this correctly. I'm tired of hearing about people who bought a whole bunch of machines and now they're burning up their boards because they didn't do it correctly. There's a lot to it. If you don't understand static pressure, if you don't understand HVAC, if you do not understand thermal dynamics, this is not the business for you. I know that Bitcoin surging has brought a lot of people who are interested in this, and one of the things that they look at is they say, hey, you know, if I'm a Bitcoin miner, I can get my Bitcoins for a lot cheaper than what I can buy them for. Well, if you know what you're doing, you can. For instance, the numbers that you see on Bitmain are based on a certain temperature in Celsius. So I believe it's 20 degrees Celsius is what they base their wattage on. So that is 20 degrees is 67 degrees Fahrenheit. And that is at the maximum. You do not ever want your room to become more than 70 degrees. If you do not understand the laws of thermodynamics, don't do this because even though you may say, hey, well, it's freezing cold outside, like right now it's 30 degrees outside and I'm blasting air through my building, but it's all filtered air. The filters cause all sorts of static problems that you have to deal with. You must know what the difference between a PS and X13 and a variable drive is. You got to know all sorts of different information. Sorry, my dogs. They see somebody. But so the if you don't understand these things, please do not try to do this. A few miners you can do, and you know that's something that a hobbyist can do, and you know you can actually make a little bit of money. But the problem is that if you start going larger than that, you are going to destroy your machines. My machines, I take care of them. I know all of the different dynamics that are going on inside with the systems, and because of that, my machines are still good to this day. All of my S5s still operate properly. All of my S7s still operate properly because I'm able to deal with these situations. The biggest thing I get from people is they're burning them up because most common is static pressure. Second to that is they're constantly saying, hey, why are these things going zombie? Why are these things constantly having to be reset? Why are my frequencies always changing? Things of that nature. And these are all things that are due to their network setup, how they've got it set up. If you don't have it set up right, then you're going to have these issues. If you don't understand what latency is, if you don't understand, what your maximum bandwidth has to be in order to have enough bandwidth for what we call the block surge, You know, these are all things that you have to understand, and it's not something that is easily done. I know I make it look easy, but it's not. And for people who want me to come and help them, I charge 5 Bitcoins a day. Now, I will come out and I will educate you. I will give you a design on exactly how everything is supposed to be, but that's going to cost you. And that's 5 Bitcoins plus expenses. So that is what you're going to need to know. The best thing for people to do that do not understand all of this is to actually just buy the Bitcoins. I do recommend that. But if you know what you're doing, you can take the money and multiply it thousands of times. But you must know what you're doing. Otherwise, you're just taking all that money and throwing it away. Because I've heard of plenty of people say, hey, I watched your videos and I ran out and I got my family's to put money in and I got investors and all this other type of stuff, and now we're having all sorts of problems. Can you please help us? Yeah, I'm going to help you, but you're going to pay me. You're going to pay me a lot because that's what it requires. The other thing is if you are determined to do this and you don't understand these things, you must hire somebody that does. That means when it comes to Bitcoin mine, you must plan this thing out. It's got to be planned properly from the start all the way through to the finish. And this is excuse me, this is something that you have to have in place. Otherwise, you will not be able to make your machines last but a few months, and then they're dead, and then you've lost all your money. So please, please, please do not attempt to do what I do unless you understand these things. There are so many different things that you must understand. You know, it's to have a full working understanding of electricity, and understand that when you hear about these loads and things, that you must have, that's maximum loads, and loads are, because you were dealing with constant loads, you cannot be more than 80%. So when you're putting in a wire, let's say, for instance, somebody was writing me saying, hey, you know, my electrician wants to use a 10 gauge wire. Why does he have to use that type of wire? Well, I'm going to tell you, hey, you don't know what you're doing, stop. Because there's a lot of these things that they have to be that way. If you're cheap, you're trying to do this on the cheap, it's not going to work. You know, you could probably get a small thing of maybe 5 machines, but you still have to build it out right. You've got to use the proper wiring. You've got to use the proper circuit breakers. You've got to have everything designed so that you're not putting too much of a load, because otherwise you'll have what we call a brown out, where you're putting too much stress on the circuit breaker. It will actually, but right before it trips, you will begin to lose voltage through there, and that will burn your boards up so fast you won't know what happened. And then you'll be saying, hey, you know, what happened? Well, you didn't know what you're doing, unfortunately. So if you want to invest in mining, find a company that's going to do it. Do not do cloud. I've yet to see one that is honest. I've heard of too many people losing their shirts doing the cloud mining. Because all you're doing is you're buying the machine for them. You are paying all of their expenses, and you only get a limited time. Now, if you have a lifetime contract with them or whatever, but still, those companies, they charge through the roof maintenance fees and housing fees and all these other fees. So they take all of your profit away from you. I don't do that, and I will never do that, because I understand that that is wrong. So I hope this helps. Please, if you do not know what you're doing, don't attempt this at home. I know sometimes I make it look easy. As always, like this video and try and have a great day. Goodbye.